Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody's doing wonderful. We're so excited today. We are having our first panel show with two of our favorite. Wonderful. We're so excited today. We are having our first panel show with two of our. We're getting a kickback. We are having our first panel show with two of our. We're getting a kickback.
Okay. I think we're back. Now I think we're good.
Okay, we're good. Let's
Yes,
start this over again. It's, do more in 24. Okay. I said today's Wednesday, and it's such a wonderful day because we're doing this our first panel show with two of our favorite authors. And we've become friends with them too. I mean, first we have Joan Aubele. She's a best-selling author, a diocesan speaker. She brings hope to churches and hospitals and libraries. She's written two books and of her memoirs. It's just an absolutely wonderful books of inspiration. Joan, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Lori. Thanks for having me.
Oh, that's good. We're so happy that you're on here today. And then we have Chiara Talluto. She has written many books, and her new book is called The Rekindled. And we are so happy to have you. You have inspired a lot of people in all different ages because you have books for younger kids all the way to adults, and they're all inspirational. How are you today, Chiara?
I'm doing really good. Thank you again
That's
for having me back.
Well, great. We're excited to have you here, Deb. Deb, now that you're finally back here, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I think I figured it out. I think that next time we do one, I'll be even quicker. But we had a little breakdown in technology, so we're doing great. But I'm doing great. It's a cold winter day over here in Chicago, and we are excited to just warm everybody's hearts up with these two ladies. So, Laura, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to ask these ladies some questions so they could be an inspiration for any future writers. A lot of us have these ideas that we want to write a book about something, either of a fiction or nonfiction, and we just don't know where to start. So we thought we would ask these ladies that have walked the walk and done a great job in what they have done. So the first question, Joan, I'm going to ask you is, what or who encouraged you to decide to write your book or story?
I would say it's a combination of people. There was my godmother, my sister, my husband, um, actually strangers that just heard a little bit about the stories and encouragement. And I just always seem to get the nudges from the Holy Spirit, like, you need to do this, you need to do this.
Well, you have a fantastic story, and it's just so much to be said for all the things that happened to you and how God has blessed you so much. Do you have anything to add on to that, Chiara?
Yes, what encourages me is the art of creative writing. I love to read great books, and so that has instilled and encourages me as a writer. My kids have inspired me to write. I'm the master storyteller in my home, so I have a lot of stories, and why not put them into words? So those are my inspirations.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, so just so everybody knows, and again, Joan has written books about her life of what she went through with her cancer and how she recovered and everything, and all the prayers and everything, the miracles. And Chiara writes books about just things in general that are all Christian based books that are fiction books, correct? And
That's
so
correct.
it's totally different, but yet they're both writers. So, Joan, how do you figure out who to talk to for guidance at the beginning? Who did you figure out to talk to?
Well, it's actually kind of funny story. My husband was looking at the local paper saying that they were going to start a library group, a writers group there in my local library. So he
Mhm.
encouraged me to go, and everything just fell into place. I met the editor there, and it just started from there. I was held more accountable. Every Monday we had to bring in parts of our work. So I felt accountable instead of just, oh, I'll get to this later. So this way I had to do it every week.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. And how about you, Chiara?
Um, when I first started writing in my first book, I looked into the writers magazine. I also got connected with my local library and I joined a writers group
Hmm,
where we had to submit 2 pages at a time and to read the book, read our story from there. And I got a lot of critique and feedback from that aspect.
wow, that's really interesting. Deb, you want to ask the next question? I'm like clogging on the questions
Oh,
here.
oh, no, not at all. So, okay, so how long did it take you probably from this is going to be a kind of hard to probably say, but from the first time that you started, Joan, to actually say, okay, I'm going to write this book to actually get to where that book was actually finished, first copy, okay? Because we know there's more
First
than one.
copy.
First copy.
Um, I want to say I started, it took me 25 years.
Wow.
But that was just always adding things and putting things, writing things down, but not with the really exact intention of writing a book. Once I started in the writers group at the library, I would say it took me a year, 6 months to a year, I can't recall for sure, from the time I actually finished the book, had it edited, and had it published.
Wow.
And
That's
then the second one took maybe seven years, just because I was busy promoting the first one. So
Yeah. Yes. Wow. That's great. That's wonderful.
How about yourself? What I know you've written multiple books as well. Well, how about the first one? How'd that go?
The first one was 13 years in the making, but not as long as Joan. So you have me beat, Joan.
yeah.
But I average about 9 years per publication, to be
Wow.
honest with you, because I'm raising my kids and that's my first
Yeah.
responsibility and obligation. So from once the book is written, I average about 24 to 25 versions of the same story. So I have to get it perfect in my own way. So it does take me a little bit longer, but that's okay. I'm all right with that.
Holy cow, that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, that blows me away. I'll do this one and then Laura's gonna send it to
Okay,
you.
that's
What,
fine.
what are some of the steps that it takes you once you've got that first copy written to to think about taking that book, Joan, and getting the book published? I know that there's going to be a lot of steps, but that you can't really, but just give us some of the ones that you had to start off with. How's that?
First of all, I used to just Googling. You can Google almost everything as far as all the different steps you need to take. So you might have in mind what you need, what you want to accomplish, but this way it's going to kind of fill in the blanks, what you might not have thought about. Um, I would say find yourself a good editor. In my case, I was very fortunate because we ended up, well, the first one was a stranger. We became really good friends. The second one was a friend. So you want to have someone that's professional, but that you're going to have a lot of fun with. You can be yourself with, and they can actually, when they read the book, they can actually hear your words, hear your voice talking. Um, the other thing you need to do is first decide whether or not you want an indie publish or a traditional publish, because all these lists of things are gonna be a little different. If you're gonna do indie publish, you're gonna have to take over everything, getting your IBSN number and all this good stuff. Whereas a publisher, I'm not, I went indie publish, so I don't know for sure how a publishing aspect would go. I don't know if Chiara, you better than. And they might take over some of your duties. Um, the only other thing is I can really think of, it's for me personally, because I use a lot of quotes in my book, make sure you receive permission, actually in writing. A lot of the quotes, especially like songs, like I had a bunch of quotes from Mother Teresa. I had to get their permission and get a contract and in writing. So if that ever comes back to you later, you can't just make up things and steal
Wow.
someone's codes. And I just personally, I understand the pictures are open domain to anybody, but I just personally always I ask everybody's permission to if I put their pictures on the book, just out of nicety.
That's really good advice for people, Joan.
Mm.
Yeah. Kira, you want to take it from there? What steps like that you would, anything you want to piggyback on or add in or difference?
Sure, I would echo a lot what Joan said. And having written my fifth publication, it is a process, and Joan knows that from the experience. Whether you go indie or whether you go traditional publishing, write that perfect book as best as you can and get that story right. Remember, the sole audience is you. And then tap into other people as beta readers to test your story to see, hey, do I have any loopholes? Am I missing anything? Because then when you get that editor, and your editor is your best friend. My editor is, oh, I've known Dennis maybe about 17 years now. And so the last four of my books, he's been my editor. And he is your friend and he is your confidant. And that person will tell you the truth. And that's the kind of person that you want. And then just know that marketing and promotion, whether you go indie publishing or traditional, it's all on you. It's all on you to go and toot your horn, per se.
Yeah.
Well, promote, right? I mean,
Yeah, right,
seems like
exactly.
really a good way of saying it. I mean, if we have time at the end, we're gonna come back to that. But Laura, I'm gonna send it over to you. Okay.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to say how fascinated I am that the dedication that you have, the both of you, for writing, and like Joan, 25 years, I'm sitting there thinking, boy, I think after two, I would kind of give up. But I give you a lot. You ladies are wonderful. You're such an inspiration. What words of encouragement do you have for potential authors, Joan?
Well, let me clear that up. That's kind of years. I was basically Chiara was raising my children. So I was
Yeah,
doing it, but I didn't put that on, it was in the front burner at all. That's
yeah,
what's so like, it wasn't until my children were grown that I had more free time to do that.
yeah. Okay.
I always say the words of encouragement are never to give up. Don't
Yeah,
beat yourself up on it, just do it. It's not going to be perfect, just do it. You can always have it edited later. The other thing is, you know, when you write, you have the power to change someone else's life. So if you're getting the nudge to tell somebody something, do so, because you're going to be helping somebody else.
Wow.
well, that's great. That's great. How about you, Yara? What's your encouragement?
I've always been told from many writer friends of mine to just sit and write the story and don't go and edit as you go along. And if you don't try it, then you don't know how the result is going to be. So put it out there, and your story can change and inspire other people to be better versions of themselves. And you never know when it lands in the hands of somebody, what will happen in their life.
Mm.
Right. Oh, that's great. Both of you guys great answers. And this is really important question. And Debbie's the one that was wonderful to come up with these questions because they're amazing. But Joan, how important do you think you feel reading is? Because a lot of these kids now don't read like they used to, and people
Yeah,
don't read
right.
anymore.
Right. I think it's very important. Like I said, first of all, you have the opportunity when you read a book, you can be transported to a different time or place to kind of keep you away from maybe dwelling on your own issues. If it's going to be a fantasy, if it's going to be an inspirational book, maybe it'll help you to get through something in your life. Um, I think when you read, you create empathy for others because you don't maybe realize what other people might be going through.
Mhm.
I have this first instinct when you meet somebody, you think, well, they're kind of a crabby, whatever. And then you think, maybe there's more to this. Maybe there's just an outside layer, So I think when you read, you're gonna learn more about other people. Um, I think, oh, that was the other thing I'm gonna mention. I think reading provides a different point of view. Like when you're in a situation with somebody, you think of it just from your aspect. You really don't think about their point of view, like maybe possibly a different person's point of view. So if you read, you're gonna learn all the different points of view from people. You can have more of a vast variety other than your little circle of friends, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of book clubs are very popular because people like to sit around, read, get their opinion of what things are. Have you ever been in a book club, Deb?
Nope. I mean,
No.
I've been to Bible study. That's it. Not a book
Yeah.
club. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Chiara? How important do you feel reading is?
I think it's very important. Number one, you learn vocabulary. Your vocabulary grows. I say ever since I've become a professional author now, I can't read a book without dissecting it for themes and the end and the climax and all of that stuff. But I love getting into a book and seeing how the story unfolds, how the dialogue is presented, how the description is simple but yet beautiful. And so I am in constant awe when I read other authors because it inspires me to do better in my type of writing because it is my means of communication. So it has helped me a lot. But I truly enjoy reading. I'm always reading.
Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, you know what? I want to know, Joan, you have such an exciting life. You moved to North Carolina and you're just living the dream. That's what I say. So what else are you doing now? What are you doing now with your book, your two books and
I'm pretty much just promoting myself. I'm continuously doing book signings and different events and preparing for interviews and blogs and things. My biggest thing is after this was going to be in the art library. They're going to let me do a presentation over there. So it's a 45-minute presentation, 45 minutes to an hour. I'm trying to figure out how am I going to compact putbacks and all these things I'm going to say
yeah.
without bombarding people. So we'll see. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's great. And you sell your books on Amazon and
I do. I sell them on Amazon.
is there any other place or just Amazon?
Barnes and Nobles had the dance. I don't know if they still do or not.
Yeah.
A lot of libraries have them. Christian bookstores have them. And if you want to get the book and the library doesn't have it, ask the library to buy it, get it for you, and they will.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And how about you, Chiara? Well, we know you got a new book that just came out, right?
Yes, the Rekindler just came out at the end of December, and right now I'm out there in terms of marketing and promoting and interviewing and things. But all my books are available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and then in ebook form on iTunes and Spotify and all of that.
Sounds good. Do you have anything else you want to add to that at all? I don't know why I keep losing my picture on here. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yes, it's beautiful of
It's the Blessed Mother.
Mary, the Blessed Mother, Amen. Well,
She's there we
There.
go.
There you go.
Oh, in terms of my recent book, you're saying, do I want to add anything? Sure. It is The Rekindler. It is a story about one man's vision for revival and a return to God in backdrop of a one world government and one world religion. It's a wake up call to all the believers out there to get right. It's a tribute to past revivalists. And it is about, getting in touch with the Lord, and there is freedom within Jesus Christ. And it's very timely story about what's happening in the world today. So I hope you guys check it out.
Sounds great. And how about Joan? Why don't you do a little bit about your books, the dance and
Um, the
right?
dance was about my survival of stage for leukemia and all the prayers that led to the miracles. And then basically, it's basically about the power of prayer and the miracles. The next book, Cards of Blaze, gets into the more details of the religious aspect, how it's affected other people. I know this person knows this person, this one knows this person. We're all on the same journey. So that's why that's kind of going to be difficult. I'm just trying to realize what I'm going to say for that short period of time, because they're really two different books. But they're basically all the same thing, where you're following the Lord and you don't give up. You inspiration, no matter what you're going through in your life, not just cancer.
Yeah, it's just both of the books are both of your books are wonderful. And like I said, they're two different assets. We got nonfiction and fiction. So we kind of touched on both of it. Debbie, do you want anything to add on to this?
Well, what I wanted to just say is the four of us here could probably go on forever. I'm telling you, we could go on for hours talking. I do want to say that if Joan, next time you're in the Chicagoland area, make sure that you let us know ahead, because the four of us need to do lunch. It would be really fun.
Oh,
because
that'd be
we've
fun.
never
Yeah,
met.
that would be good.
Just to give you guys a quick background, just because this is kind of fun to talk about, is that Joan went to high school with Lori and I, but graduated ahead of us. Lori, by accident, not accident, okay, it was an intervention here.
And to be, yeah.
Literally found out about Joan's story through her sibling, and when we were planning our reunion, and it just happened to be that we were working on doing all of this stuff, and we said we've got to interview Joan, and Lori connected with Joan. Joan met Chiara at a book signing, right, in a library. Is that correct? And never knew each other, but here now Joan lives in, it's North or South Carolina?
North Carolina.
Chiara, you're in what town?
Johnberg.
Schaumburg. Okay. And Lori and I are not far from each other. Crazy enough, we all lived in the same state for a while, but then of course Joan's gone. But look at this fun interview we're doing right now on, Zoom and Facebook Live. And we're able to do this. And you know what? From the time that we met Joan to now, you two ladies have evolved. You've done so much. And Lori and I have been blessed with so much that we've done. And we have so much to be thankful for. And it's just really fun because you both have brought people to Lori and I. There's no doubt about that. We know that. We know that we've brought people to you, and we're all continuing to do that. And it's all about, being the best version of ourselves, like Chiara, you mentioned before. That's what our whole mission is, but also our mission about helping others. There were all four of us have different goals and paths and things that we're doing, but ultimately we're here helping others. So we're just so thankful that you were able to be our very first panel, which we've been talking about panels for a while. Okay. And I think it went really well. I goes to the way it went. We were concerned, if anybody, as you guys are watching out there, we were concerned about us going over each other talking. And I think we completely nailed it. And I think that was because, we prayed before and we got this done. And I think it's great. So we'd love to have you girls back again, and we'd love to see you soon. And we're going to keep following you again, as you always know, put all your stuff on our page. And with that, we're going to close out. I'm going to let Lori close us out, but I just want to say thank you again for this. Was wonderful that we were able to pull this off, because we're in different time zones. I know it's hard. Everybody's busy, but it was well worth being able to do this, and we're thankful. So thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. And Laura, I'm going to let you close us out.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Joan and Chiara. What a joy this morning. I have a big smile on my face, and I would probably be walking around with it all day. Thank you. Everybody be safe. If you're in the Chicago area, expecting some really cold weather over the weekend and some more snow, but just thank you and goodbye, everyone. We're looking forward to our next panel. Bye. Have a good
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you.
Wonderful day. Take care.
You too.